You might notice there's a difference here. This is the freight liner, and this is the original. We have a lock cylinder here, and the original lock cylinder plumps right in all nice. But on this one, the hole's actually smaller. So I'm gonna have to take a file or a die grinder and painstakingly make it bigger, and hopefully I don't mess it up. If you guys can see some washers in here, just let me know because I'm having troubles. I wish I started doing videos sooner so I can actually remember how my door handles went together. Welcome back to Zambonis versus Curlers. This is episode 5 of the Ford 9000 Restoration here. What I've been doing today is fiddling with lock cylinders. I got the doors to actually work here. Awesome possums, and the key works too. So there we go. So I ended up, instead of painting these guys, I brought them to a guy that powder coats. He also did the door handles. I got them back and I put them together. I just need 2 people to put them into the wall there because alone looks like a nightmare. Okay, should explain a little bit what I'm doing here. The lock cylinders have a little thing right there, and there's nothing to hold it from popping out except these clips, but I don't have the old clips. Even if they had any, I don't remember. It's been about 2 years since I took out the things. I modified some clips from a spare Ford door that I had that will fit in there, but also be small enough to also fit in the lock because it's a pretty tight fit. Right here's the inside of the door. This is very little space I have to work with for all the mechanisms. Nice and snug like that. Next we need to hold the lock cylinder, and this is what I have these clips here for. So this goes in here like that. It's kind of hard to work with everything in the way. But this pushes in, and this guy here, this is what holds the door on. So it kind of goes over the lock cylinder, and then there's a plate that goes on. I'm missing the actual plate, but the other side came with this guy. So this guy should work. So it gets pushed on like that, and then a bolt goes in there, and this keeps it tight. So I got this plate in right there, which screws onto this guy. I modified this guy so it would fit in, and it all holds together. I got this pinched in. That's unlocked. When the handle gets moved, we'll turn the key. That's locked. And like this, here's the outside. So locked, and then unlocked. These were the old seals for the door. They're kind of warped, and I'll never get them back. This one's actually broken. This one's warped too. So what I ended up doing is putting a little piece of 3M around it so it doesn't rub into the paint, and then just sticking the door flush against it. Oh yeah. Awesome possum. There was some mistakes by the powder coat guy. We're going to see if we can just kind of... He claims it's a clear coat, so we're going to see if we can kind of buff that out. The other side turned out not too bad though, so there. This is how the 3M is kind of underneath the door handle to stop it from popping into the paint job here. Before I get too ahead of myself here, this is the passenger side door handle. We got her in here, and it opens and closes. If I haven't showed you already, I did do last week. This door handle, the lock cylinders for the Ford don't actually fit in it. So what I ended up doing is having to use a file, and I filed it out so it would fit. Next thing I'm going to point out is the Ford lock cylinder. They have a little pit right here. I guess for maybe their vans or something, but it's not needed in this one, and it actually gets in the way of the Freightliner hole. So what I'm going to do is going to just kind of Dremel that little pit away, and then I'll get back to you here. I ended up taking this and egging it out a little bit here. So what I did is I took that little pit off, and it didn't quite fit. So with the little egged out on the one side, it fits in nice, and then unlocks, locks, locks. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these old little seals for the windows. These are old, but I think this one might still be okay. Oh, we have a crack up here. Maybe not. I'll replace those two while I'm at it. Here's what I got. I forgot if I got this on Amazon or eBay. Basically, it's a plastic V strip that I can two-side onto the inside of this. So we're gonna clean this up. Got some two-side and even some more two-side, and we'll put this in here. I found some felt. We had a spare one laying around at the shop, and it doesn't reach all the way down, but that's not too big of a deal because I can just use some of the old felt for sound deadening. But yeah, it almost fits perfectly in the top side. I got one piece of rubber in here with the bit of two-side holding it in place, and then I still have to do the other side before the window goes in. I end my day with struggling with these windows here. What my problem is the felt that I've actually found works good on one side, but the other side is just super tight. And this window is the electric window, and the motor is not going to be able to pull this down on its own. So I have to either modify the felt or find something that has a little bit more of a gap, because this side has a good gap in it. This side doesn't. Another thing I have to think on is I have these V's I was going to stick in here to kind of shed water from going down the door panel. The V's don't quite actually touch the window, so either I have to push them out or find something else. But that will be another day because I've ran out of time. You know, it's sure nice that Fort Garry's and Greg Distributors no longer opens on a Saturday. It makes my life really, really fun.